Yes.
USA4NICA here.
Hello.
Hello. I got the idea at lunch today, talking to my sister, and she was like, "Oh, this SOS Nicaragua thing is great. I'm kind of understand a little bit, but this weekend I went out, hung out with some friends, and they were all asking me what's going on, and it really got me thinking that, you know, and I try to speak for those of you that have been following that I've been putting up posts all of a sudden. It's because of the crisis that's happening in Nicaragua, and I just want to take a second, and this is specifically geared towards my American friends, especially my people back in Michigan, Ohio, and the people that I really know. You guys know me. I mean, when it comes to charities, the things that I like to support are things that are so close to my heart. For example, every year I go back to the Monroe Comic-Con. I do that because I think it's so important to give back, or at least be part of the community where I'm from. And I know that, like, Gary Paulette, for example, he's the one that runs the Monroe Comic-Con, does a great job, and he takes the money and he donates it towards scholarships at Monroe High School. And you know, it's I think it's the Oaks of Righteousness, gives to the homeless. This is all stuff I can get behind, especially in my hometown. So then my wife, who was, as you can see in her shirt, I love her shirt, American grown with Nicaraguan roots. That's awesome. And I'm just sporting the USA4NICA over here, so you guys know what our shirts actually mean, because again, we're trying to educate you guys on what's happening. So that being said, the Nicaragua crisis began, and Karina's going to give you specifics here in a minute. I'm just sort of setting this up for why you would care. Why people that speak English in America care about Nicaragua. Don't they make cigars there?
Cigars and rum.
Cigars and rum. So why do we care about Nicaragua?
Go to surf.
Exactly. No, we'll talk about all the awesome stuff later. But for what I'm saying is, most people, like me, before I came to California, I would have had no idea what Nicaragua was all about. That's Mexico, right? It's all the same. Yes, we have no clue. So that being said, Karina started explaining everything, and what was very difficult was all of the videos were in Spanish. Now, mi español, más o menos. Necesito más escuela por mi español. I said right there, I speak okay Spanish, but I need more school. But I told her, I'm like, look, if you want my people to care about what's happening here, it's so important that they hear it in English. Because I'm telling you that at least my people, I can speak for the people in the Midwest. Those are the people that I grew up with, the people that I know. That's who I am. I know how we are. And I know how much we love immigrants. I mean, I married one. and you know, but the thing of it is when we don't understand what's going on, we tend to just sort of dismiss everything as, well, whatever. And I realized what's going on in this country is something that affects us more than you guys realize. Now, what's going on in America right now, and this isn't political in any way, shape, or form, but we've got a crisis at our borders. Yeah. We've got children being separate, whatever's happening down there. The problem is that people come from these countries where there's poverty everywhere. I mean, Nicaragua is the third poorest?
No, it's the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
So that being said, that's happening, and then you've got these brutal dictators, like we're going to talk more about, this Daniel Ortega. So people want to flee. Well, guess what, Midwesterners? I'm talking to you. Understand this. These people don't want to leave their country. I mean, imagine if all of a sudden whoever's ruling this country decided to just start killing people, and, you know, in the middle of the night your throat gets slit, or if you don't let some sniper on top of your house, they're going to burn your house down. You'd probably, I mean, the first inclination would be to leave, yeah, or to fight back. And the Nicaraguans don't want to leave. They want to fight back, and they're doing it peacefully. They're not shooting back. This is not like the wars that we heard about. You know, again, Midwesterners and United States people, we probably knew about Nicaragua from the 80s. You know, yeah, the Contras were fighting. That's really all we knew. And, you know, they, where was I going with this?
Well, they don't want to leave.
They don't want to leave.
And they're trying to fight this dictatorship that is very corrupt and incredibly oppressive and despicably violent. And
can I, I'm so sorry, can I interject? Because this is really important. Again, what happened in the United States was considered, when they were killing students, does anyone out there know about Kent State? Yeah. I know I went to school at Mount Union, and that's right by Kent, so I actually went there and saw the bullet holes. It's when our, you know, the MPs shot the students. 4 students died in Kent State on May 4th, 1970. How many people are dead in Nicaragua?
Over 450 people are dead. mostly students like those at Kent State.
Yeah, or elderly.
Yes. Over thousands missing, just missing. These people that had been abducted in the middle of the night, missing, and they're finding mass graves. And then thousands arrested for peacefully protesting.
Peacefully. And we're going to share more of the videos. And again, so we kind of got off on a tangent. We're just trying to bring it to you in English. So we're going to take these videos in Spanish, and Karina is going to translate them for you so you understand what they're saying.
So I can see, thank you, Sarah. I saw you're watching.
All these people that are joining.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. But if you have specific questions, please post them. I will do my best to answer them. Okay? So just a little history of what's happening. And this is just history in the last 3 months. So on April 19th, the Ortega dictatorship announced that they were going to decrease Social Security benefits and increase taxes. What does that mean to the people in Nicaragua? They are incredibly poor. I mean, they're happy though.
All right, I've got to say something about this. Okay. I have not seen a happier people other than Ireland.
Yeah.
If you ask me, if somebody came up, we're the two countries with the coolest people that are so friendly, I'd be like Ireland and Nicaragua. Not in any specific order. But you're right. They're super poor and they're super happy.
And it's just, they're just happy. And they were living with, you know, a moderate amount of corruption from the dictatorship. And they were accepting it because things were actually stable. It had been one of the safest countries to visit in Central America. Tourism had gone up 400%. So people are like, you know what, we'll deal with this dictator. We're fine. You know, we're working, we'll deal with it. Even though we know he's stealing a lot, even though we know that his wife is vice president.
Who has horrible taste.
Even though we know that his family owns, I think, 10 out of the 12 channels, television channels, even though we know that his family owns, all the petroleum, like gasoline stations.
Since you're bringing up money, I got to bring this out. So when we went to Nicaragua, we're going around looking at everything, and we get down to San Juan del Sur. Karina was talking about the tourism industry is coming back. It was crazy. I mean, there were people from every country in the world there surfing. It was awesome. But we're going around, and all of a sudden, because it's very poor, so you see these very, very modest homes. Suddenly, you're seeing these just big, like MTV cribs, pimped out places, surrounded in barbed wire fence. And I'm like, being the curious guy that I am, who lives there? Oh, those are the people that count the votes during the elections. Yeah, vote counters live in there. Like, this is stuff you would see in the Hollywood Hills. And that's where those people get to live. I wonder why. But another thing too is about the safety thing. And again, those of you that know me know I will do my best to speak the truth. And I've been in some shady situations, whether it's in the United States, whether it's in Central America, in different countries. But I will say this, in Nicaragua, not one time did I ever feel unsafe. This is the kind of stuff that happens in Nicaragua. So brace yourselves. This is horrible. You get up in the morning to go for a jog. You want to run to the gym. And along the way, there are a bunch of school children playing. And those school children see a giant gringo with long blonde hair that to them probably looks like a Viking running down the street. Do you know what they did to him? They followed him and cheered. I felt like Rocky Balboa in Nicaragua. I got these kids following me. I'm jogging, waving to everybody. It's awesome. So I digress. But again, this is me speaking to Americans that know very little about Nicaragua. Proceed.
Okay. So they were living content, but with very limited resources. So now the government's saying we're going to decrease those resources and we're going to increase your taxes. So what happened was that our elderly community went out to protest. And they were met with violence from the police.
Tell them, rubber bullets.
Rubber bullets.
Shooting old people with rubber bullets.
Okay? I mean, you had pictures of the elder with like blood like streaming down their face. So this pretty much infuriated the country. And the students, the university students, we're talking about medical students, engineering students, like people that, like if UCLA
people that would make a difference in a very poor country, that this is their future.
You know, this is the future of this country, right? They went out to protest with the elderly and to protest the changes that the government wanted to institute. They started shooting at the students.
The protesters, by the way, just to total clear, absolutely zero weapons.
Yeah, completely peaceful.
Zero weapons.
Completely peaceful. They started shooting at these students. In addition to that, it was a police shooting, and then the government had counter protesters go in to start fighting with the students. And these counter protesters, you know what else they were doing? They started looting the stores.
So let's make sure that we got this clear. Ortega paid people to go fight the students, and then while they're at it, let's go loot.
Go ahead and loot. And there's actually video of these looters loading their loot onto police vehicles.
Okay, hang on. But now
there's video of this.
I've got to jump in and speak to Americans right now. And Americans, take note to what we're about to tell you, because this is awesome.
Okay.
What happened with those looters and the people in the neighborhoods?
So the people in the neighborhoods were like, you can't loot our supermarket, because if you loot the supermarket, we don't have any place to go for food. So what they started doing is going after the looters and taking back what they looted and taking them back to the stores.
And they made like human shields this around the stores.
They would take shifts
awesome.
To protect the different stores so that they would have a place to get food.
I'm again going back to like what I was saying, the reason for this whole thing, and going back to again speaking to the American people about the wall. They don't want to come here. They just want to stay in their country. Wouldn't you want to stay in your country? We'll go visit the United States. That's cool, but we don't have to go there. Yeah, exactly. Disneyland, we go. But yeah, seriously, they really want to stay in their own country. They're proud of their country. And let me tell you something else about Nicaraguans. Last night, we went to a fundraiser, which was, if I get to this, I mean, this is something that never happened to me before. People were coming up to me crying, saying thank you for just spreading the word. They don't want your money. They don't want anything. They just want you to be aware. And to see people come up crying, I actually had a guy, Miguel Jr., my new buddy Mike, comes up to me and he says, can you come outside with me really quick and make a video? And I'm like, I mean, for those of you that know me, you know how I am. Like, of course, let's go make a video. Sounds fun. We go outside and I'm like, what are we doing? He's like, this is for my friends that are living in the mountains right now because people are trying to kill them. Can you just send them a message and tell them to stay strong? Americans have no idea what's going on south of the border. They just think everybody wants to run here because it's America. There are the most horrible things. We've seen videos that we will be sharing of students pinned down behind like little barricades with snipers shooting at them from all angles. These aren't trained military, they're students.
They're students.
And they've just got, I mean, and they use ACAs in Nicaragua, which is, if anyone knows anything, played Call of Duty guys, the AK-47. It's got that big 7.62 round, which means if it hits concrete, it's going through. So they're pinned down behind basically paper, nothing to protect them. Bullets are whizzing everywhere. We're going to share the video. And I'm just thinking to myself, as someone that went to college, as did Karina, in the United States, could you imagine? It's like, hey, Mike, man, you want to go to a kegger tonight? You know, wouldn't that be awesome? We can go hang out. There's going to be a party afterwards, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that was my college experience. Imagine your college experience where you're pinned down, literally crying to God, leaving a message. The one girl, she says to her mother, she's like, Mom, I love you. I'm going to die. But the good news is I would never change a thing because I love my country, as bullets are whizzing by her. This is happening today. This is now.
Yeah.
It's the most, I mean, I couldn't believe what this last night, and the solidarity and just the patriotism these people had for the United States. American flags were running rampant as much as Nicaraguan flags. I mean, and the thankfulness to be here, because a lot of the Nicaraguans that are here now are because the same shit happened
40 years ago.
40 years ago. Dictator overthrown by Ortega, then Ortega comes in and becomes a dictator, and now the process has happened again. So these people that we saw tonight are the people that ran last time because they were going to die. I mean, what's the cliche term that you hear in the movies? It was the Kill Bill movie. Remember they walk into the church and he's like, looks like a goddamn Nicaraguan death squad. Watch your tongue, boy. Blast me in the house of the Lord. It's like Nicaraguan death squads are real, and that's what's going into people's houses in the middle of the night because they're doctors or students or anyone that didn't agree with Ortega. That's happening.